Hey, welcome back everybody to Altcoin Daily. The reason why you subscribe to this channel is because on a daily basis, we break down everything going on in cryptocurrency. We make this whole market easy to understand. Which cryptocurrencies do you want us to cover in the future? Let us know in the comments below. Let's get started with the top story of the day. Cryptocurrency has come under direct attack by ex-Web2 Twitter CEO Jack Dorsey. Yes, it seems ever since Jack Dorsey has become the ex-CEO of Twitter, he's gotten more vocal on Twitter, and he's recently gone on a tirade slamming cryptocurrencies and, more importantly, cryptos that fall under the blanket of Web3, which so many people are excited about changing the game. Specifically, one of his biggest critiques is citing VC dominance. I'm curious to know what you think about Jack Dorsey's specific critiques. We'll get to them in just a second, but for me, it totally surprised me that Jack would just write off all of Web3 in a blanket statement saying basically it's all bad. Well, first of all, let me tell you exactly what he said. I don't want to misrepresent him. And again, I'm curious to know what you think about his points of view because he does make some good points. The key takeaways are this, and you tell me. Jack Dorsey has criticized Web3 again in a series of tweets claiming that it is owned by venture capitalists. He's saying Web3 isn't really owned by the user. It really doesn't give user any more rights. It's owned by venture capitalists who are pumping it up. Dorsey made a subtle reference to VC firm Andreessen Horowitz, a venture capital firm that has backed many crypto and DeFi projects. While Dorsey is opposed to Web3, as our audience knows, he has been a long supporter of Bitcoin, which is really cool. His firm Block is set to launch a Bitcoin-backed decentralized exchange in the near future. So, to sum up Jack Dorsey's tweet tirade, his point of view, he says, no, you don't own Web3. The VCs and their liquidity providers do. It will never escape their incentives. It's ultimately a centralized entity with a different label. Know what you're getting into. And this spurred tons of notable Web3 proponents and crypto people responding to him, many disagreeing with him, saying, you're not really understanding it. It's so much more than how you're presenting it. And then some people agreeing with him. Really, I think we all agree on the problem. Web 2, which Twitter's Web 2, Facebook's Web 2, you are the product of Web 2. It's free to use, you are the product, and we all agree that's the problem. Now, Web 3 proponents say that Web 3 is a major improvement, but Jack Dorsey is really saying Web 3, you are the exit liquidity for the pre-mine, and he's really being cynical about it and writing it off. I think there's more to the conversation than just this. Saying that you don't own Web3 because VCs own some of it is like saying you don't control your Bitcoin because VCs also control it. You don't own your Bitcoin because nation states control it. The fact is, with adoption, different people are going to own large parts of it, especially if they can afford it and if they want to take the risk. Now, of course, Jack Dorsey is really saying VCs are there at the very beginning. VCs own a disproportional amount of it. But here's the thing, to write all of Web3 off, I think that is a gross mischaracterization. I mean, Web3 is no more of a guarantor of decentralization than Web2 was a guarantor of user participation. We'll see a power law distribution of Web3 projects ranging from some very centralized to some very decentralized. Assess and debate the nuances of specific projects, not the category. There will be a huge spectrum. Just like the internet companies, the website companies of the 90s, there was a huge spectrum. There were obviously ones that were really not good at all. And then there were ones that were okay, lasted, had dominance for a decade or two, like Yahoo's. And then there's ones that are still going strong today, like the Googles and the Amazons. So it's this huge spectrum. And to write Web3 off like this, I think, is a missed opportunity. It's a gross mischaracterization. And just taking a look at Web3 crypto adoption versus the internet versus crypto adoption charts predict 1 billion users by 2027. Yes, it's amazing how this is lining up with usership, internet user timeline, crypto user timeline. The green is the total internet users, the blue is the total crypto users. Although crypto users currently form only a small percentage of the global population, the rise of Web3 is expected to hasten adoption rates. The only question is, which Web3 projects do you believe have potential? This is my question to you, which Web3 projects do you think are maybe the not so good ones, the pets.com? Which Web3 projects do you think have major potential? Maybe they're the Yahoos. Which crypto Web3 projects do you think are the Amazons, the Googles? I think there certainly will be some of those. And unlike the dot-com bubble, which was primarily for US accredited rich investors, cryptocurrency is for everybody. And yes, Jack is correct by saying that VCs do fund the early stages of these different crypto projects and protocols, and they get really great deals on tokens at an early rate and don't take on nearly as much risk as some people, or they hold large percentages of the token. Just like Amazon, just like Google, these crypto Web3 projects are more akin to companies than open source protocols like Bitcoin, in my opinion. But there's still plenty of opportunity, in my opinion. I think, if you think Web3, if you think cryptocurrency is going away, you haven't really been tuning into all of this like we do on a daily basis. For instance, Avalanche, all-time high in active wallets, all-time high in transactions per day. Those are two really big metrics. Serviced almost 70% of the amount of transactions of Ethereum. Yes, Ethereum market share is going away a little bit. It's waning a little bit to different Ethereum competitors and interoperators, which are a little bit more centralized. And like Eric Voorhees said, let's debate the trade-offs. Let's do that rather than just writing off everything that's happening. And it's not even just about institutional money anymore. Yes, institutional money is about to pour into crypto in 2022. I think a lot of people are seeing this, but too many are just focused on this. Not enough people are focused on nation states vying to be the most crypto amicable jurisdictions, talent flowing in from decaying Web2 industry. I mean, Jack Dorsey of Twitter, perfect example. He's getting away from Twitter and focusing his time on Bitcoin DeFi. It's pretty cool. And not enough people are focused on the cultural normalization of crypto. Yes, this cycle is so different in that this is the first cycle where people truly believe that Bitcoin and crypto are here to stay. Every other cycle, people are looking for, I don't want to be the last person to sell. Now people are looking at, what can I hold on to for a number of years? And, there's so many different verticals we could focus on. I thought this was a huge deal. XCAD. I'm invested in XCAD. It is a social token platform. I think social tokens are only going to get bigger. And, they've been releasing partnerships like this for a while. With over 6 billion views and 7 million subs gained in the last 9 months, Dan Rhodes Magic, I guess he was on Britain's Got Talent or America's Got Talent or something. Apparently, he's gaining a lot of momentum. He's one of the fastest growing creators on YouTube. 7 million subs, 6 billion views. We're excited to announce that he will be issuing his own fan token on XCAD. The biggest creator announcement in XCAD's history will be on Xmas Day, and if you've been following them like we have, they've been releasing stuff like this for quite some time. So another really cool Web3 type project is Rubic Exchange, a multi-chain protocol. We've been saying it for a long time. If you look into it, you will come to the same understanding that I have, I think, that you realize that the future is multi-chain. I'm betting that the future is going to be multi-chain based on everything we're seeing. And Rubic Exchange is a multi-chain protocol that allows complete swaps between 10,500 plus tokens on Ethereum, BSC, Polygon, Avalanche, Moonriver, Phantom, Solana in one click. So it's super easy. Their protocol features 60 plus DEXs, fiat on-ramps, and bridges, so you can understand why this is a big deal. They're sponsoring today's video. You need to know that staking starts on December 23rd, and they are offering APY of 80% or more. This will not last forever. To find out more on staking and to find out more on this, click through the link in the description and begin your research. But this is the problem that Rubic is solving. Transferring assets between different blockchains can take a lot of time and money, right? You need to use endless bridges, implement numerous swaps, and pay multiple fees. Rubic solves the issues of multi-chain swaps by including DEXs and bridges in one clear, one-click interface. Users can swap any of the 10,000 plus tokens between 6 integrated blockchains in one click. For example, it takes about a minute to exchange Link to Cake or BNB to Joe. Just any asset you can think of. Different chains, one click. They have a working product because Rubic is a working product. You can start using it on the 23rd. They recently completed a smart contract audit with Certic, so they're audited. And RBC is the utility token that powers the whole ecosystem. The token is involved with staking to get the 80% APY or more. RBC is required to provide liquidity for multi-chain, those features. RBC is the governance token, help make decisions, and then also the token is required to become a validator. Let's talk about liquidity providing. So the Rubik's team actually keeps a pretty tight lip around the final details of liquidity providing, but it's highly possible that the RBC token will be involved. For example, to stake $10,000, 10,000 USDT, users will need RBC as well. Investors who want to take part in staking will get into the whitelist and take part in liquidity providing. And then the principles of liquidity providing, it's pretty much the same as any DEX. For example, the user invests 2 assets in Uniswap and gets pro rata rewards. To find out more information on this Web3 multi-chain exchange, Rubic exchange, click through the link below and check it out for yourself. And then to give us an even further insight into the future, just like Bitcoin is tokenized on Ethereum with wrapped Bitcoin and things like that, Interlay has just raised $6.5 million to bring Bitcoin DeFi to Polkadot. Interlay is hoping to bring tokenized Bitcoin onto Polkadot and other networks. So perhaps you'll be able to use Bitcoin in the Polkadot ecosystem as well. And maybe in the future, every single coin will work with each other and you'll just be able to use everything intertwined. Anyway, guys, I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm pretty excited getting into 2022. I think things are only going to get bigger. I love the fact it's taken, I love the fact we didn't have a blow off top this year, because that's just opportunity. This bull market is going slowly up, and that's a really good thing, especially giving these projects time to implement and integrate and build. I don't know how you couldn't be long-term bullish, but you let me know in the comments below. I will see you tomorrow.